It's time to get a glimpse of Atomy's leader's success and leadership philosophy. Welcome to the Make Imperial show. Today we have Imperial Master Young Sung-yoon, Atomy's first distributor, and Star Master Soo-Wai-Chon, who came all the way from Canada. We will be talking with both of them. First, I'm curious about your connection. May I ask how you both came to be here together today?
Back in the early days of our Atomy group, Star Master Soo-Jun was a key ace from the line of Crown Master Nami Lee. Today, we have invited her to join us. She's currently leading many members while directly running a center in Canada. Because she's one of the most respected leaders, I actively invited her to this valuable event.
You readily came all the way to Korea at Imperial Master Young Sung-yoon's request. It seems he is quite special to Star Master Soo-Wai-Chon.
When Imperial Master Young Sung-yoon first contacted me, I kept asking, me? Can I really do this? In a way, he is the hope and role model for Tommy members around the world, isn't he? So I thought it was a great opportunity for me, and I readily agreed to come.
You are currently doing business in Toronto. Could you tell us how you first came to know Atomy?
I wasn't born or raised in Toronto. My husband is a Korean Canadian, and he was working in Korea. He asked me to move to Canada, so I followed him. And that's how it happened. When I was in Korea, I was a fencing athlete since I was an athlete when I went to Canada, and there wasn't really much I could do. First of all, I couldn't speak the language. I was surprised to see people in Canada brushing their teeth with something like a shoe brush.
Is that even possible?
Everyone uses a really, and I mean really stiff toothbrush, but I actually have sensitive gums, so I was looking for a good toothbrush. I found an Atomy toothbrush that was so affordable, yet so good. So I started looking for Atomy distributors in Canada.
You sought them out directly?
Yes. So I went online. If you do Atomy, please sell me a toothbrush.
I wanted to buy it, but I didn't know how.
So I asked them to sell it to me, and about 8 people sent me online messages. Among them, I chose the one who seemed least likely to approach me. I contacted the person who said they wrote, I sell them. Yes.
A little.
After repurchasing the toothbrush, I realized Atomy's toothbrush is so good. I can use any other toothbrush now. When I made my second product purchase, I went directly to a center. That was sunscreen and BB cream. I was so surprised by the prices of those 2 products. Even after using them, I thought, I can't use any other products now, can I?
So you fell in love with the products and started an Atomy business?
Yes. First, I fell in love with the products. Second, I fell in love with the marketing, the company, and the marketing. After I retired as an athlete, I once did a blanket LMN business.
That's a thing?
How many blankets do you need in your life?
I've never counted, but there must be a limit.
I worked hard on the blanket scheme for 3 years, but I ended up in debt and had to quit. I kept buying the blankets myself. I bought it again, and I bought it again. So, since I was in debt, I had to work hard to pay it off. While working hard, I met my husband, and I thought if we could pay this debt together, we could repay it quickly.
Of course.
So I decided never to do LM again. That was my true feeling. But after attending Atomy's business presentation, I watched Chairman Park's lectures on balanced life and life scenarios on YouTube. I was so absorbed that I lost track of time. After that, I looked up the compensation plan again. And this business, first of all, doesn't cost any money. I started the blanket business by buying 2 blankets, but from what I heard about Atami's marketing plan, we can start the Atami business with just 2 toothbrushes. We can earn points starting from 10,000 PV, right? So I call my blanket MNL sponsors in Korea. I said, Atami is global. Join me. Let's do it together.
I signed them up as my partners. One of them is Bo Young Yoon, manager of the ACE Center.
Yeah. One friend in Korea is an SRM who runs a center. And another partner is also running a center. That's how we're conducting our business now. So their sponsors, unfortunately, most of them, except for the CEO, are in Canada. So the business continues this way.
Kind of in reverse, huh?
That's how it
I've been
works.
serving them diligently.
So, by working together like this, Star Master Su Ai-ton in Canada manages the Canadian members, and Imperial Master Young Song-yoon takes care of the Korean members. It was a business you never thought you'd do, but you felt the vision through the marketing plan and life scenario lectures. So you started again and succeeded. I think you're truly amazing. Now let's move on to Imperial Master Young Song-yoon. You're a symbolic figure as Atomi's first distributor. Imperial Master Young Song-yoon, I'm curious how you got involved with Atomy.
Yeah. I started as an elementary school teacher in 1972 when I decided to live, valuing the human soul. I met Chairman Han Gil Park. So, 53 years ago, I met Chairman Park when he was a sophomore in high school. There's a Korean saying, a tree that will flourish looks different from the sprout. When I talked to the chairman, I could sense some honesty and also kindness. I've kept his phone number for 53 years. Had I missed that connection, I might be under STM Suajun now and still be working hard as a distributor. Since I kept that connection well, the chairman gave me the #1 spot in Atomy. I know. I always say Atomy is miraculous. The first miracle is that the chairman was a center manager. The reason the chairman can empathize with STM Suajun is because he was once a center manager. He said a cosmetic that was 100 times better had came out, and to check the news. Being from Andong, I had little interest in cosmetics. Men in Gyeongsang province just wash with water and that's it. Besides, 100 times better? That doesn't make sense, does it? If something was that good, all Korean women would be using it. Would there be any left now? But the news featured Dr. Yoo Soo-jang from Keiri. And he's the scientist I respect the most. At the time, he held a vice minister level position, and such a person said the cosmetics were 100 times better. Our chairman said that's going to be a big hit and asked me to get one dealership. I went to Keiri and asked, please give us one dealership. I asked for one dealership, but they offered everything, which was amazing. That was a complete miracle, wasn't it? I didn't want to make a mistake, so I said, the chairman is in financial trouble. But Keiri promised full support. We will actively support you, so go ahead. Go ahead. At that time, I said I could not afford a seminar hall. So they let us use the Keiri auditorium. That was unbelievable. Such miracles kept happening. I believe Star Master Suajun will also see miracles and become an Imperial Master.
You always see a great vision for Star Master Su Ai-ton.
Yeah, until she becomes an Imperial Master, I will keep joining in the interviews.
Imperial Master Young Song-yoon, do you still meet the chairman often?
Yes.
Could you tell us what the chairman has been thinking about recently?
That's a good question. On Amazon, you can find Professor Jungkoo Yoon's book, The Hyper VUCA Sustainability Lab. You know. But if Chairman Hongil Park writes its sequel himself, I think about 100 million people will read it. And those who read that book may probably register under Star Master Sua Jun.
You'll dominate North America.
We're gonna secure another 100 million. Also, I'm thankful to the chairman for giving members great news. Right next to Atomy Park, if A-Care becomes a reality, through the Atomy Hospital, I think as many as 100 million people will come. And if 300 million come, leaders and viewers should work hard to make sure they are registered under their line. So the chairman promised to continue visiting overseas success academies. And one more important thing. The birthplace of Atomy, no matter what, is Songnisan Forest. Through the 2-day Success Academy at Songnisan Forest, everyone became an Imperial Master. Currently, overnight stays aren't possible, so we're just doing a 1-day Success Academy. That was a bit disappointing. Finally, at Songnisan Success Academy, the chairman will lecture himself. So everyone should register. All Atomians, including myself, should attend the chairman's 2-day Success Academy and become Imperial Masters, hoping that it continues every month.
Star Master Suai Jun, you should go to Songnisan Success Academy too.
I really want to go.
Since you are in Korea, I hope you attend it if possible.
We must attend it.
Thanks to the first distributor's effort, successful people like Stairmaster Suai Chun have emerged all over the world. There must have been many challenges while doing business abroad. Could you tell us about the difficulties you faced while doing business overseas?
In my Atomy business, honestly, I don't think I ever thought it was difficult. I was an athlete for about 13 years, and after going through that for so long, I met Atomy. So I don't think I ever thought it was difficult. As for ups and downs, since I married into Canada instead of studying abroad, the first big problem was language.
That's a very big part, isn't it?
Yeah, I often thought, how great would it be if I could do Atomy in Korea? If only I could have done Atomy in Korea, I would have had many friends and done well.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
I thought I could have done well in Korea, so why Canada? So the first hardship was language. Second was raising young children. It wasn't easy to do business while pushing them in a stroller. That was another hardship. I also had no friends and no car either. But even with those difficulties, rather than thinking it was actually hard, I thought a lot about how to overcome it. At first, it took a long time to make any Atomy friends in all reality. So I started by making friends with Koreans one by one. Once I became friends, I promoted Atomy. Then I made more friends and promoted Atomy. That's how my business started, and I learned a language along their way. The kids just grew up on their own.
That's truly amazing.
Yeah. So what I always tell my partners is, instead of excuses, let's find a way to do the Atomy business. Let's think, research, and find a solution. I often say things like that.
Listening to you, I can sense Star Master Suai Ton's unique positivity and spirit of challenge. It's really impressive. So now in Canada, have you settled successfully?
Well, I've got a long way to go.
Could you briefly share your story?
So I like to share how I run an Atomy business. During the pandemic, we had been working on a Zoom. I still remember 23 team members started Zoom meetings together. During the pandemic, we gave business presentations via Zoom as we held seminars a number exceeded 100 people. So, after the pandemic ended, I wondered, which center should I go to? I realized I had to open my own.
You are indeed quick to act.
So, after the pandemic, I opened a center. Currently, I run seminars on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Since the languages are different, we do it twice, once in Korean and once in English. For Koreans, there are over 30 to 40 attendees. These days, it seems even more are coming. For the English meeting, there are over 70 to 80 attendees. Sometimes 90 or even 100 attend. We're always getting complaints from the building owner.
It feels like the center needs to grow.
They need to move to a larger place.
Yeah.
So she's passionately running an atomy business. As you see your cherished partner, Star Master Soo Joan, working in Canada, how do you feel, Imperial Master Young Song Yoon?
Yeah, when I see Star Master Soo Jun, I see hope. Canada, as an advanced country with strong retirement welfare, provides a good environment. So the message of preparing for retirement doesn't really work well. But from what I saw, since she was a fencing athlete, she knows how to target precisely. That's why she's good at targeting. She truly values her life. And her passion for living a worthwhile life is truly inspiring. She's the biggest role model for global leaders. And moreover, the most important thing in Atomy business is that members must gather. At seminars, even the halls are packed. The fact that people flock there means she has a very special talent and a passion, which I admire.
Actually, you have a positive mindset. You're so pretty. This is my first time seeing you in person. I can feel that you have great skin and great energy. In a way, I think that part also played a role in her success. What do you think?
Since I started when I was young, even if I couldn't communicate with foreigners, I was able to promote the products using just 3 words. Not because I was pretty, but because of youth alone.
You're pretty too.
I said, I use this. If you do too, you can be like me. With youthful energy, I made it happen. Let me tell you about something fun that actually happened recently. I recently went to New Jersey, USA to provide support. I left with a lot of products in the trunk. Of course, Atomy is in the US, but sometimes we have to deliver products quickly because if it's delayed, they might not buy the product. So I have to deliver quickly while it's in stock. So we left with a trunk full of stuff. I loaded 4 boxes. I worried I could actually lose everything or not be allowed to enter the US. So I put them into a large suitcase and zipped it. If I got caught, it would just look like luggage, and that would be fine. So suddenly, at the US border, they asked me to open the trunk. I was so nervous. My partner and I were trembling, thinking we're in trouble because once you're rejected, you can't enter the country for about 5 years. That would be a huge blow to our business. So I was trembling, and the immigration officer asked me, "What did you put in the trunk? How do you two know each other? Where are you going?" He asked a lot of probing questions. My specialty is smiling, pretending not to understand, and repeating the same words.
Can you do it for me?
How did you two meet? I said, friends. Then he said, you're friends, but how did you meet? Friend. I said, friends.
Was it like, don't ask, I don't understand anything?
He said, what's in the trunk? I said, vitamins. I said they were vitamins as gifts for friends. I placed vitamins near the front of the truck, so when it was opened, only the vitamins were visible. Anyway, I didn't lie, so I opened the trunk, and luckily, I didn't have to open the suitcase. They only did a metal detector and drug test and let us go.
When doing global business, there's something to be careful about during immigration checks. They focus the most on 2 things: terrorism and drugs. A pretty person like Star Master Su-jun does not look like a terrorist, so she passed based on her face. You also shouldn't be too good at English.
So you just awkwardly
Yeah.
said friends?
If English is too fluent, they suspect you may stay. You know what I mean?
They might think you're going
Correct.
to start a business.
But someone like me, who isn't very good at English, has never been caught. Since I don't speak English fluently, they probably think I will return. But if you don't know that and speak English fluently, the immigration officer may get suspicious of you.
What a relief. I heard that Imperial Master Young Song-yoon has recently been paying more attention to
Yeah.
overseas business.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you about the importance of overseas business.
Yeah. Ever since I started Atomy, I knew the limits of the Korean market. Korea's population is 52 million, but only 22 million households. So within 2 to 3 years, the Korean market could become saturated. So we must aim for 8 billion globally to secure enough market share. The market volume has to be huge, and they probably think only then we say anyone can become an Imperial Master. So we are aiming for signing up 8 billion people. Then we can reach an infinite market. I think overseas business is crucial, and it relies on the chairman's belief that honesty and goodness are the best strategy. That's why I believe we can present a path for everyone to become an Imperial Master today.
Star Master So-ton, you are at the forefront of global atomy. You'll have a better understanding of the pros and cons of overseas business. Could you tell us in detail what those might be?
Yes, first, the strength is Canada's diversity of ethnicities. From what I can see, I think it's a country optimized for global business. Because we have such an opportunity, all of our partners share this idea. Let's lead the world. We're all doing business with this mindset. And the downside would have to be the language. At first, I had to take private lessons. I met a Korean teacher, showed the Atomy pamphlet, and then we learned to explain it in English.
So you practiced a role play,
Just let me say what I want to say.
even if it's one way?
I figured I wouldn't understand anything they said anyway. So I opened up a pamphlet, teach me how to explain this product in English. So I wrote it all down and memorized it thoroughly. It'd be a disaster if you asked me questions because I wouldn't understand.
Because I wasn't prepared.
I remember introducing the products by just saying what I actually just prepared, and that would be it. But there are a lot of Koreans. At first, I focused on Korean stores like salons and spas. That's how I started, by making friends with Koreans first and began promoting the products. So most Korean leaders in my line actually settled earlier than others. But Atomy has an infinite level system. And it means you can earn 100% of the points without level limits. So, even if I don't speak English, my partners are actually really good at English. Some of them also speak Hindi, Mandarin, and Chinese. As my partners reach out to English-speaking countries, now I have more English-speaking partners. So, Canada is where you truly can feel the power of marketing because it's global one marketing. So, anyway, that's how we've been able to form such a strong organization. And there's a real advantage. What is it? I'm not sure if I can say the group's name, but there's BTS.
You mean the BTS we know?
Yeah. During the pandemic, BTS became hugely popular overseas. With K-Beauty, we reintroduced Atomy. Many people really loved it. Sometimes when I visited, people asked to take pictures as if I were a celebrity. They loved K-Beauty so much, which is a real advantage. I live in Toronto. In that area, there are many Korean markets and many Koreans. So there are many opportunities to encounter Korean products. But in provincial cities like Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Calgary, they don't even have a chance to be exposed to any K-beauty products at all.
Ah, so they're outside the capital region.
So, when I go to those areas and start promoting, I think there was a case like this once. I went to a hotel in Winnipeg and told staff in the lobby we're from Toronto to introduce Korean cosmetics. I gave them my business card and told them about the event. Suddenly, employees came out asking where it was.
As if they were
Yes.
waiting.
Like someone had arranged it. They all came out, said they'd come too, and then they actually did. So they looked around, heard product and business explanations, and signed up. These kinds of cases are common in provincial cities. I still believe there are so many places in Canada to introduce Atami, so I'm working hard on my business.
Canada is a big country with many cities, but it seems you've reached the outskirts where there are no opportunities to get to know K-culture and K-beauty. You matched the needs perfectly and you held great briefing sessions and seminars successfully. You're amazing.
In a way, it seems Atomy was created for Star Master Jun. Yeah.
Through your words, I could feel the vision of overseas business. I have some questions from our members, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you 2 of them. Since you're both successful leaders, I'm sure you have your own business tips. So I'd like to ask Star Master Suai Tong to answer first.
Yes, business tips. Actually, it feels awkward to say since I'm Young Song Yoon is here.
Should I change
You're
the
doing
order?
great. Keep it up.
What kind of tips can I actually give? There's something I always talk about with my partners and at my center. And that is, don't coach, just engage. Coaching is teaching, but engaging means actually touching people's hearts, and that's what we want. When you coach, I think you tend to point things out and make judgments. When you coach, I think you start to empathize and then communicate. So I always say engage with people. So how do we engage with people?
That's right. Languages and cultures are different, aren't they?
People in Korea may not relate. Rent alone is about 2 to 3 million won. It's usually between 2 and 3 million won. Car expenses are about 1 million won, and insurance is at least about 300,000 won a month. So 7 million won a month goes to unavoidable expenses. You cannot save there. So when introducing Atami, if you explain while empathizing with such situations, I think many people will decide to do Atami. So, if I were to give my tip, empathize and communicate to impress so they can continue their Atami business. That is my advice that I want to say. And secondly, make the people around you your allies.
How do you do that?
Let me tell you how I do it.
Why not sign up under her line?
I don't think it'll be easy to make allies.
So let me tell you how. There's the life scenario that the chairman always talks about. If you write it down, you get bold. You gain courage and vision.
You can see the vision and move forward.
That's right. I think it was when I was a distributor. Some acquaintance did not support me. When I talked about Atami, they wouldn't buy anything, but they kept asking me to hang out. They wanted to hang out with me, but they didn't want to do Atami.
That must have been tough. You had a business to run.
So once, during a trip to the beach with them, I said, later, I'll pay for all your trips and take you with me.
Did they believe you?
They thought I was lying. And at that time, there was a yacht floating around. Yachts were passing by at the beach. While yachts floated with music, we set up tents and laid out mats to rest. So, looking at that yacht, I said, I'm going to buy that yacht. If I buy that yacht, I'll take you all for a ride. So help me with my business, I said.
You were storytelling.
I told them that they had to help me to get on the yacht. They really started buying a little at a time.
I think it touched their hearts.
I also told my husband that he needs to retire after he turns the age of 45.
Retire at 45?
Yes, I started a Tommy with that promise. But he's over 45 now. I told him to play golf every day after retiring. But if you don't support my business, that actually won't happen. You'll be working until you're 70.
It's like a balance game. Will you help me or will you work until you're too old?
But after that, my husband started taking care of the child. He started giving me tremendous support. To this day, my husband is still raising our child.
I think you're amazing. Your efforts are truly remarkable.
The conclusion is to share your life scenario with a lot of people to make allies who will support your Tommy business.
I'd like to ask Imperial Master Young Song Yoon what would be your own business tip?
Yeah. It's about making your move in the first 3 months. Most people do this. They put all their effort into recruiting, then sign people up, send them their ID, and forget about them.
They think, I succeeded.
Exactly. But that is a failure. It's just a fleeting success. So, after signing them up, from the second day, a message in small steps and help them follow along. Because from what I've seen, about 70% of people can't log into the homepage, even if you send them their ID. Even if one number is wrong, on the homepage it won't open. Then older people often just give up. When Atomy secures their livelihood, people find ways to do that. But those who signed up unwillingly won't actively try to log in, even if they have to ask around. So what you need then is this. You can't keep texting them, right? Doing Atomy business needs to be fun. At 10,000 PV, you become a member. At 300,000 PV, you become an agent. Celebrate these steps even more than becoming an Imperial Master. Accumulating PV brings joy. But if they hear that they have become an agent, or that they've got distribution rights, they'll be impressed, right? So, I think it would be good to actively manage them. The next part is about replication. When I wrote my thesis, I wrote like this: the only way Atomy can become a top-tier company is not through education alone. Atomy will become a top-tier company through lifelong learning. We moved from an era of education to one of learning. What motivates people to study on their own? Members must study with motivation models. So the worst person in Atomy is someone who harms their partners. Someone who doesn't grow will ruin their partners. Wake up so that you can become an Imperial Master. If we put all our effort into helping partners become Imperial Masters, I believe we can achieve the 10 billion won we all desire.
So I have to set an example first for my partners to grow, right?
They even copy your steps.
Replication is that powerful.
If you look at an organization that doesn't participate in the system, the entire organization doesn't. It's not just one leader, you know? When you see crabs walking, they all go sideways. Some leaders tell others to walk straight while they walk sideways.
Just as young children imitate their parents' actions and words and will mirror what they do or say, in our business, sponsors and partners have that kind of relationship. I think that's why such things happen.
That's why among the 8 steps to success, I strongly emphasize when it comes to the final step, replication, the original must be perfect. In Atomy, if you keep replicating Chairman Han Gil Park, everyone will become successful. And really, it's just as simple as that. But if you teach them to copy you the wrong way, they'll go astray. So the original to replicate must be perfect. So when we think of replication in Atomy, I strongly recommend that if you replicate Chairman Han-gil Park, there's no chance of failure. But to replicate Chairman Han-gil Park, you have to follow the system. And what the chairman desperately wishes is the success of customers. If your partners do not succeed, it means you're doing something wrong. It means you're defective. So, what you need to reflect on deeply is that it doesn't matter if you fail alone, but that ruining many partners is serious. So, you must guide them to replicate Chairman Han-gil Park. They must replicate the right original. All examples except Chairman Park's are usually defective.
I think that's a very important part. If you follow your own rules, you end up defective and produce no success. So you need to check with objective measures. Am I doing well? Are my partners truly succeeding? We asked about business tips. This is the second question. Star Master Suai-John, you're doing business in Toronto and Korea. May I ask what you consider the key to Atomy business?
What I consider the key to the business is actually how diligently I participate in the system. I believe system engagement is key. I want to say this not only to Canada, but to all overseas distributors who are watching Make Imperial show. Overseas distributors are surprised by the huge crowd and the scale of Korea's Success Academy.
The crowd is enormous, right? The scale is also huge.
When I joined the system, I was surprised thinking Atomy actually attracts so many people. So the key is attending without skipping. So in some ways, overseas events may be similar. Of course, there are big places like the United States, but usually, small cities have about 100 people, sometimes even less than 100, at seminars. So, if you truly want to be successful in Atomy, you really need to attend and see it with your own eyes. You need to plug into the system to gain partners. As Imperial Master Young Sung-yoon said earlier, replication is crucial. Atomy means duplicating business partners that are just like yourselves. So attend the system first. It's about growing your partner count within the system. I believe increasing the number of my partners is the most crucial part of my business. And secondly, to add with that, there are people who are compatible with me. One of my partners from Canada, who's a star master now, is here today. She was my first Atomy partner in Canada. We have a great chemistry. Though we are opposite in style, we have worked together. Our personalities are completely different. I'm the type to try to speak first on impulse, but she's the one that always plans things out. But it just fits so well. So find partners and sponsors who fit you. Just work with them and go toward that same goal to make your business just successful. And that is the core of Atomy.
Even opposites can have good chemistry, which would result in creating synergy.
Yes, because we have an infinite number of partners. They're all different. Even if we're different, we can have good chemistry because we all have the same goal. So, if you find partners and sponsors whose goal is unwavering, you won't have trouble succeeding in Atomy.
Actually, if he's willing to come all the way from Canada for a shoot in Korea, I think that's a lot of chemistry. That is true commitment and synergy. It is admirable.
She has a lot of charm.
You mentioned 10 trillion won in sales earlier. For Atomy to become truly global, 10 trillion won in sales is needed. To achieve 10 trillion won in sales, what mindset should all distributors have?
Yeah, well, first, I think we need to be impressed by the environment we currently have. A month ago, I guided a Sharon Rose Master who came from the US. She was impressed by the Erote Factory. She was truly impressed by the company's announcement of the future-oriented system. She even joined an interview about A-Care with co-CEO Yong Soon Yoon. I think they'll be the first Imperial Master in the US. When they returned, they sent me a long message that said, with assets like Atomy Park, Erote Factory, and Songnisan Forest, Atomy can't fail. Atomy has no choice but to succeed, and I will do my best. If the chairman's upcoming self-development book becomes a bestseller and brings global success, people will naturally take an interest in Atomy. Like Star Master Soo Jun, they'll need to find out where to sign up. I believe that day will come. Anyway, I hope everyone signs up under me.
I'm hearing many stories today. Many members will likely join under Star Master Soo Jun in North America. You can look forward to it.
Actually, someone really contacted me recently. They asked ChatGPT, I'd like to get into network marketing. Can you recommend one? And then it recommended to me Tommy, actually.
Among many companies?
Yes, it pulled the data on those companies. And some foreigners actually contacted me after finding a Tommy in that way. And I just think that's just so amazing. So I was curious and asked ChatGPT. If I'm curious, I should try it. So, do you think a Tommy is a stable job for the future in question? You can build your own system through a Tommy. That was the exact reply. So, I asked again, then what should I do?
Did you test it out?
Yes, I kept checking it if it was saying the right things or not. It really told me all the right things. I thought, oh, the world has really changed now. People can come to Atami this way now. That's what I've been thinking lately. That's another episode that just came to mind.
Lastly, I'd like to hear about Star Master Soo Jun's future goals. You said you'd become a Canadian Imperial Master earlier. I think you write a life scenario every month. Can I hear what your future goals are?
Imperial Master Young Sung Yoon keeps talking about this. I think it's important to aim for partner success. If someone asks me, what's your goal? Of course, I must become an Imperial Master, and I have to make sure my partners can also become Imperial Masters. Rather than seeking a special method of direction, I just want to continue as I always have, in line with the company motto. I also have a personal wish as well. I just want to buy a house. It's about 6 billion won.
It's not that expensive.
My dream house is 2 stories, and I want to have 8 rooms. It's my dream house that I've created. I sometimes show pictures of it and use them for lectures. It even has 10 bathrooms, because each room needs a bathroom.
When you travel, bathrooms are most needed.
That's right. Each room needs a bathroom, and the living room needs one too. The basement needs one. The house must have a swimming pool. A house must have a pool. I often show pictures of my dream house to partners. I've shown them a lot. This is a house where my overseas partner can stay comfortably when they visit. It's not that expensive, 6 billion won. I'll be buying it soon, so everyone come and visit. That's my personal goal.
You can achieve it no matter what.
Yeah, my partner, who is here today, is very thorough and found a house close to my dream house.
Did you already check the listing?
Yes, I checked the listing, and I even took a virtual, the virtual 3D house tour, and that was great. But that house was only 10 minutes away from where I live.
Isn't this the house of destiny?
It looked almost the same as the house I imagined. I don't know how my partner found it, but I'm so grateful for it. So, my personal goal is to create a place not only for partners, but also missionaries and visitors to Canada, where they can rest comfortably. That's my goal.
It's not just a goal for yourself. It's a goal for everyone. I think you're a great leader. Lastly, recently you joined us on Make Imperial show. I'd like to hear how you felt. Can I ask Star Master Suai John first?
Thank you so much for having me. After joining us today, I really can't wait to be an Imperial Master. I can't wait to be on the show with my partners.
I'll be waiting.
That's what I'm thinking. My kids are playing right outside at the Atami Park. My kids went back and forth from the second to the fourth floor. I think that they saw the greatness of Atami for the first time.
Are they enjoying it?
Yes, I think they're enjoying it more than I am. It was a great time for me to participate with my kids and be on the show. It was a very meaningful time. Imperial Master Young Sung Yoon invited me. If I had not come, I would have regretted it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We must hear from Imperial Master Young Sung Yoon.
Yeah.
Could you share your thoughts?
Thank you. The chairman declared a second leap for Atomy with hopes of helping everyone worldwide who joined today to reach Imperial Master. With his book, partners will increase. And the day has come when Atomy is studied in universities for a better future. Now, with the chairman, let us tie our shoelaces again. Let us strive for 10 million won in sales by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been Success Leadership Content with Atomy's top leaders, Make Imperial show. I hope today's information was useful for you all. Until all global Atomy members become true leaders, Atomy headquarters will always do its best. Lastly, I want to stand up and shout Make Imperial together. I'd appreciate it if you could please stand up.
Yep.
I'll count to 3 and then we'll shout it together. I'll lead the chant.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Make
Imperial! Make Imperial! Make Imperial!
Thank you.
you.